Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Galectin, and we are currently sitting in Redding, California, on our way to Barstow, California. Not sure if I said any of that correctly, but who cares? So let's just get on the road and get going before we start doing anything. Now, in the real life, I will not advise following how I drive at all. In fact, I drive a semi-truck for a living, and I myself do not drive like this at all. And actually, I'm only governed at 65 miles an hour in real life. It is a sad fact, but oh well. Alright, let's get some speed going. It's the nighttime driving. It's gonna be kind of dark. Now, I did not originally pick this load up in Redding, but in the previous game, I couldn't get back online, and so I ended up doing other stuff, and just ignoring this World of Trucks contract. Now, I've been uploading videos for a while. Well, actually, less than a couple weeks. Just random stuff, just me playing games, being boring. But I've decided to start doing some more stuff. Mostly because as a truck driver, I do have quite a few times where I'm just completely bored out of my mind. Now, I'm not going to be able to do any commentary on every single video, every single time, because of the simple fact I'm a truck driver. Luckily, I'm too small to monetize it, so I can still claim fair use, simply because I make no money on them. If YouTube makes money, they could probably in the future get sued, but I'm not even going to attempt it. Now, the cool thing is the mouse I'm using, kind of clunky, especially for shooters, but it allows me to very quickly respond to quick changes. Simply because I can have unlimited turn radius in any direction. That's the nice thing about having a roll. Now, usually I would like to play outside, but since I am using a headset, being outside of the truck allows me to hear the full engine. And that's just annoying. Now, my current settings for this game's on high. I tried getting into Ultra, which should allow me to still play the game at a pretty decent rate, but every time I try going and increasing scaling, the game crashes completely on me. I can't even go anything above 125% scaling. As far as I know, scaling just increases the amount of stuff I see farther away from me. Could be wrong, but I tried touching that and changing it upwards. Everything crashes. Although I can probably go downwards, but I think the game would look a little bit worse. Now, I would like to be able to go faster than 65, but I'm just not able to right now. Kinda in a rush to get this delivered. if I see any police cruisers up ahead, I'm probably going to be forced to slow down. The thing that frustrates me the most is in real life, you'll see people going 70, 75, 80 miles an hour in a semi-truck, and they're not getting pulled over. It's kind of frustrating. Because in real life, you have all these sensors inside the truck that a company can set things up so that if you're driving 65 miles an hour in the state of California, the truck will tattle on you and send the information to the company, and the company will be like, hey, knock it out. You're speeding. We know you're speeding. Now, in real life, I don't drive this type of truck. This is a day cab. Oh! Trying to be a super trucker now. Anyhow, in real life, I drive a Freightliner Cascadia. The older Cascadias, the one that look a little bit less future looking, are now considered Cascadia Classics to a lot of the companies. And the new Cascadias are just being called Cascadias. It is getting confusing because it's like you work on a semi-truck that is 1 year prior that should be technically called a Cascadia, but it's now being marked a Cascadia Classic, even though it could look similar to some of the Cascadias, because not all Cascadias are given the future looking 4 inches off the ground. Also in real life, I actually don't use the, well, it's kind of difficult because I do use a pre-pass. Pre-pass is not going to be that low. It's going to be all the way up. And I also have a secondary system called DriveWise. DriveWise is going to be part of the GPS system. It's actually a Qualcomm that we use. It's mounted to the dash. He did not see me speed. Anyhow, the DriveWise is going to be part of the navigation that's in the Qualcomm, and that's also will bypass me at a lot of places. DriveWise works at some places that EasyPass does not work at. However, some EasyPass locations will not work with DriveWise. So it can offset some locations you want to. That's going to be my first speeding. I expect to at least have 2 more. The cool thing is I'm using a Razer keyboard, so every time I get pulled over, I have blue and red lights on my keyboard. But I don't want to do a webcam because A, I don't want anyone to look at my ugly self. I don't even want to look at my ugly self. If you want to see my ugly self, leave a comment and subscribe, and maybe one day I will. But anyway, it's also an issue with webcamming because it just doesn't look right for me. I have issues as it is uploading stuff to YouTube because it's actually very rare for me to find internet speed fast enough to be able to upload. I do have 2 sources where I can upload via phone and my MiFi through Verizon, but in total I would only have 30 gigs every month, which thinking about it, it's okay. So I've been uploading for a couple weeks, and I just decided to do commentary, and so I think I'm gonna have 2 videos every week. That's gonna be a nice start off point. I'll have one release at about 1 p.m. on Monday, every Monday, and let's say Friday for the second release, same time. Ideally, it'll give, well, it's going to be 1 p.m. Monday and Fridays, Eastern Time. Now, sometimes it may be released slightly early or later, but usually only a couple hours max. It's sometimes a little bit of an issue to get things uploaded. Well, I'm gonna need to get over, huh? Let me cut you off. Take the next exit. Now, this actually happens to me quite a few bit in real life, which is why I would not recommend doing it. What the hell? I don't know what happened there. But I'm a super trucker, and so... Again, this is not how I drive in real life. It's just... when you drive a real semi-truck and you drive a video game, you don't want to drive the same way that you do in real life. It kinda makes you angry that you have so many rules and regulations. And so, you follow all the rules and regulations in real life, but then, in a video game, you just disregard many of it. I'm gonna cut you off. Technically, making a right turn on a red light is against company policy, but I'm gonna do it in a video game because I think company policy can be stupid. For example, you're not allowed to make a right turn on a red light, even if a light is designed so that it does not activate if you're in the right lane making a right turn. There are some lights that they just don't activate. I've been at a few lights I parked at on the right lane for 20 minutes because another driver ahead of me outright refuses to make the turn. It is not safe to go around him and then make a right turn, so I have to wait for the person, but if the light does not change, it may not activate. Let's get around this semi-truck. Alright. Now, if you haven't noticed, we have a load of cars. I personally have never seen that kind of configuration of a car in the United States, but... well... let me be clear, I have seen the configuration, but not with a semi-truck. I've seen it with a dually pickup truck. Because a lot of the semi-trucks I see, they're gonna have another vehicle on top of the tractor itself. No point in wasting any space. And those trucks are designed purely to haul cars. In fact, sometimes I wonder if they're just, everything's bolted directly to the semi-truck and it can never disengage or disconnect from the trailer. Which is what I do a lot. Now, in a lot of videos, I'm only going to be able to do 20 minutes. If I one day become popular and able to make 2,000 every week, I may quit trucking long enough, establish my channel, save as much money as possible, buy a few homes, maybe even show those homes and show those homes being redesigned, fixed up, and then rented out. That way I can have some kind of income and not have to be away from home all of the time. My goal for the channel is to save any extra money that I ever make from it, purely just so I can buy a home, not for myself, but to rent out, make money, and allow me to expand my business. I do a variety of stuff. I take pictures of whatever I can find. I actually have some few good ones. If people ever want to see them, I can set up a website and direct people to look at them. But as a truck driver, you see a lot of stuff. I hate passing like that, but the thing I hate about the barrier is if you make one slip off, you hit the barrier, and you really can't see the barrier while inside the cab. So you can just drive normal thinking you're fine and then hit it. The barrier should at least be a foot away from the median, the yellow line. And some of the shoulders should be a little bit wider because in real life they would be slightly wider because there's all types of vehicles that drive the roads, and if someone's parked right next to that line, well, people who pass it may end up hitting it. You still have, even with a wider shoulder, you'll have people parked right on that white line, and it's like you need to leave more room away from the white line because in order to get repairs, you normally have plenty of space on the soft shoulder, and so if a repair vehicle needs to take up that space, they can just go off-roading enough in order to do it. But you need some type of separation from the traffic because it's very easy to accidentally hit. But yeah, that's just ridiculous. I can't see that. Now, using a keyboard, it's kind of off-putting because, oh shit, don't, I knew it was going to do that, so I anticipated it and came to stop. Road construction is also designed kind of weird, but the company that makes this game, I can kind of give them a pass simply because as far as I know, none of them are really from America, and so yeah. Now, with American Truck Simulator, I may do some long runs, but instead of doing one video, which could take like 2 hours to do a single load if it's long enough, I'm probably going to be breaking it off with 500-mile segments. Now I could turn off sleep, but I actually kind of like having like a moment to where I just stop, relax my hand, just overall just take a moment to myself, relax before I continue on with the load. I do think that sometimes it maxes out at and goes red long before I would actually be finished on my shift in real life. Like, I want to say about an hour or two early, sometimes 3 hours early. Now, when I designed this vehicle, I was just fooling around. And as you can see the green stripe. The point of the green stripe is so that you have something highly bright all around the tractor. And actually, I would prefer that it also be slightly reflective. That way, that unusual design, when people shine a light on it, it'll pop up and they'll be like, oh, there's a vehicle there. And it's really handy when you're like making turns at night. Although, if you're making a left turn, it is sometimes better to like have your headlights off when you're making that turn so that people can see you clearly, because when you're making a left turn, they don't really will see you in a semi-truck very well. And by having your light off, all the reflective stuff shows right on. Like, it brights up like really well. But if you have your headlights pointing at a car that's coming to you while making a left turn, your headlights could sometimes overpower their lights, which is a problem, because if it overpowers, that means they can't see you. None of the reflective stuff will show up. All they see is a semi-truck on the other side of the road and what seems to be very far away lights all far away. Oh. Oh. My bad. Almost missed my exit. In this game, they have a Walbert. And Walbert kind of reminds me of Albertsons. It looks like some Albertsons. It looks like it's designed like some Albertsons. But people claim it's Walmart. I mean, I can somewhat see it, but it's kind of odd, because I've seen some Albertsons kind of like they're DCs will be designed similar to that, but a Walmart would not actually look like that. And in fact, sometimes they'll have a couple various sections of itself, and so having one long section like that, I've never seen Walmart designed like that. To me, it just reminds me too much more of Albertsons. I really want to hit a couple of those question marks, but right now I'm hitting the 26-minute mark, and I really don't have too much time. Alright, now I got time. I'm on a red light anyway. Alright. So, for this turn, it's just easy to make a left turn. And then we're going to come all the way to the right. Now, I've known people who've had issues making U-turns in a semi-truck, and they've actually will damage their tractor doing those U-turns. The whole idea of making U-turns like that is to you need the proper amount of space in order to make those turns. If you don't have the space to make the turn, don't attempt to turn. But that is not common knowledge. In fact, a lot of things that you would think common knowledge is not in the trucking business. I personally have a theory that people get complacent when they get a certain age in life, and so a lot of things, well, complacent and bad training, or no training at all. So the combination of those three will lead people to do things that make no sense. Now I do have an idea of placing a dash cam, like, alright, so you have the easy pass all the way on top, and I also have a company dash cam on the side of that. What I have been thinking about is making another putting on another dash cam. It'll only be 1080p, but put another dash cam up and record parts of my driving going down the road. It's kind of iffy because I actually team drive, and so some of the driving won't actually be mine because I'm actually a night driver. Now, if I start driving during the day, it may be bright out enough starting on my shift in order to get some good video, but yeah. The thing I have is I'm not too certain if I can actually ever monetize those vehicles or those videos, because when you're driving down the road, you're seeing like 1,000 advertisements or 1,000 companies at any given time. I do hope one day I could monetize stuff. And the reason why is, well, the monetization will help me with a lot of stuff. I mean, if things get slow in the trucking industry, instead of relying on just my real job, making money, I could make money on the side of videos. And if I start making enough ever in order to purely stop truck driving, well, I doubt I'll probably be able to make that money, because one of the popular type of videos that probably put out there would be videos that would be disqualified from monetization in the first place. Like, this is a pretty peaceful game. There's no violence, no real issue, but you will have some video games that are extremely violent, and yeah. So I have other videos of me driving a semi-truck like this. Okay. So no ticket. Oh shit. Whee! Super trucking time! Whee! But that's not to say I'm gonna rely on monetization of videos. If I get enough subscribers, I may decide to do a Patreon if anyone says they want to donate to me, and just be like, okay, just go over there. I also may set up a website to where you could buy pictures of what I see going down, like pictures I take while my co-driver's driving, or when we're stopped. There's certain times that have like really good moments. None of those pictures have like any advertisements on them or any company names. Really can't have anything like that and sell them, so now with American Truck Simulator of 500 miles, I think, ooh, that was a close one. That's why you pay attention while driving, because usually those close calls happen when you're distracted and then you don't see the first signs and then you just crash right through them. That I was able to react fast enough to where I could slow down. Energy drinks. Yeah, with American Truck Simulator, I think the longest I'm gonna allow is 45 minutes, and then either cut them down afterwards or change them. But ideally, on long runs, it'll be about 500 miles. I may cut it down to 400 miles each, depending on which ones. Now this video is gonna have some other videos that will catch up after it, which is just me driving, no commentary. I have a load of videos that I would just be putting out where I'm not gonna be talking on them. It's just basically catch up our videos. The videos where I'm going to be providing commentary are going to probably happen like twice a week, and then I may have a few compilations every now and then, which those won't be on like Monday or Fridays at all. Those will be maybe Wednesdays where I just randomly put one in, like maybe once a month or once a quarter or something. Yeah. Do I want to buy? Nah. Ooh, red lights. Late. Wow. Yeah. The late penalty, though, is nothing I could do about it. I had no access to the internet. Well, I had access to the internet, it just wasn't signing in, and so I blame Truck of Worlds for giving me a late. But that allows me to go up. Excuse me. Mm, I really don't want to. Yeah, I'll do that one instead. Let's see what type of upgrades I got. Kenworth, blind mount visor, mud flaps, new engine. Or no, that's transmission. Ooh. Now that's the type of bull bar I was looking for. Yeah. But yeah, I drive a Freightliner, and I really wish that this game had Freightliners. Uh, I haul a 53-foot dry van with sliding axle. The ones that freak me out sometimes are the ones with sliding split axles. Whew. What is that? No, I gotta see that. That looks weird to me. Let's see. No. Trailer pursuits. Oh, those are chip. So that's bulk. Okay. Well. Now I'm not certain if the whole video had proper commentary on that, because for what appeared to be part of it, my mic was up. I'm hoping it caught all of it, but it may not, and if not, I'll just probably do another video with some of the same commentary. Let's see. No. Yeah. Alright. Do they have any back? Hinges. Now, for bulk, I don't see this type of vehicle that often. I normally see other types of bulk, but this is a strange type of bulk. I'm not used to it. Whoop. This customize that. Now, flatbed, I also don't see this design too often because there's so many different designs of it nowadays. I mean, alone, just looking at this, yeah, that's like a lot of different variations. I I don't think the 28 feet would actually be a semi-truck flatbed. I think that would be a gooseneck, not a semi-truck. So, and even then, that looks weird. Now, don't get me wrong, it's possible every single one of these vehicles actually do 100% exist somewhere in America. It's just, I don't see them. And I see all types of vehicles. Okay, so I have enough for 50,000. Ooh. I could cut down my money, which give me a lot more money to work with. You know what? Let's cut it. 100. Ooh. It's okay. Instead of like that too much, I'll have like that left to repay 5,000 or 6,000 a day. That's pretty easy. So right now I'm in Barstow, and I'm probably be hoping to make enough money to buy a yard in Phoenix. But yeah, this video is coming to a close. If you'd like to see more of me being a complete boring person, because no one probably watching these videos, hit the like button, subscribe, do everything that you're supposed to do. Everyone knows to do it. I hear it 1,000 times. But doing it allows me to figure out what I want to do. I do have a few ideas, like having real life trucking videos out. I I I have some pictures I could show you of all kinds of things. Uh, really can't do accidents because there's no way for me to know if like someone died or injured. And overall, I'm not even certain I would actually be allowed by my company to do anything like that, because there could be backlash or some other issue or some other thing. It's just not something I would think I could do. Anyhow, hope you have a good day if you even watch this video, and see you next time.